Troll in Varan, I put it on it, Sunday kitty out, thing is cotton. At illa no honor has it enough for the away for King London. Landkid av den indiske lottatrådgivningsfoten den dorske bare har arbeidet og har hatt edelige innom. At I Nastra jeg kalte meg jeg lei forvaltet styr og øyningskitten. Når jeg fløy og vet hva man kaller I høyden eller sånn. Ikke bøyt, ikke la. Jeg lavet snart tramaskivelsen, så at jeg da uvar. Og da jeg synes uvar, så har jeg dårlig og sympeni etter at det adronene kjenner staten. Da har jeg tid at ikke det nei til spillet. Jeg har hatt et år siden da. Ito sa ina ho indo hatal na.
Dine o chilche benas olta nalka. The Navajo Birth Cohort Study, Johnnye, A Beautiful Life, addresses the need for environmental health studies on Navajo land, where many families from outlying rural communities have been directly affected by the legacy of uranium mining. The study is now recruiting eligible mothers-to-be between the ages of 14 and 45 years old as participants in a 3-year study to better understand the effects of uranium exposures on reproductive and developmental outcomes on the Navajo Nation. The University of New Mexico's Community Environmental Health Programs is partnering with the Southwest Research and Information Center, the Navajo Nation Division of Health, Navajo Area Indian Health Service Facilities, and the Center for Disease Control, Agency for Toxic Disease Registry, to conduct the study that's been mandated by the U.S. Congress in 2010.
Dr. Lewis has been the principal investigator for more than a decade on the Dine Network for Environmental Health project, investigating health impacts in communities exposed to legacy uranium waste on the Navajo Nation, and water quality and usage patterns in unregulated water sources. Her current focus is in developing a birth cohort study in collaboration with CDC, ATSDR, and Navajo Area IHS to investigate reproductive and developmental effects of these exposures. Dr. Lewis will share a summary of community-based research conducted here on Navajo Nation and how the findings are helping to inform the Navajo Birth Cohort Study. Dr. Lewis.
Thank you, Jamie. And I'm Dr. Johnnye Lewis from the University of New Mexico, the Director of the Community Environmental Health Program. And I'm the Principal Investigator for the Birth Cohort Study. This will be a study of both pregnancy outcomes and development among women on Navajo Nation. We think that this is going to provide a lot of very important information, both for the people who are participating in the study, who are going to learn a lot about factors that might be influencing the outcome of pregnancies, and we can also learn a lot about just overall nutrition and health of children and development of children. And in addition, we're going to be doing a really extensive evaluation of a whole range of environmental exposures that might be occurring on Navajo. So trying to look at this in a really holistic way.
I think it's real important to become aware of these issues at an early stage rather than when you're older and then suffering from the impacts of uranium mine. as a person, activist among the Navajo communities, I've come across some issues with uranium back maybe 20-25 years ago, and including my father, who died of leukemia from uranium milling exposure. During World War II, he was one of the persons that mined and also shoveled uranium ore to make nuclear bombs. And so when I was born and my siblings, there's 11 of us, but the last 4 of us were impacted by it, and we have these issues of nerve issues and development issues, and like if you look at me up closely, you know, I have these little rash around my nose, and that's from the exposure of that. And even though I didn't come in physical contact with these contents, my father did, and he got, you know, he was in these yellow kicks, shoveling it around and so on. So when we were born, he had them in himself, and we were born with it. So these health problems are not always, you know, just direct exposure, but it's also can be carried from the parent to the fetus, then to when you're born, then you're born with certain problems. So I was one of those, I believe, because he died of leukemia.